It's Tara Boothby, Sojourn Psychology, and I am here to speak with you about parent summer survival guides. What are some tips? What are we going to do this summer? Kids are at home, kids are busy, kids are looking to us for some guidance with their boredom. And summer is a little bit unpredictable, right? So depending on your kids' ages, we don't know. Are their friends in town? Are their friends not in town? Are they going to be able to have play dates? Are they going to be able to go off and just track down where the other kids are? All these sort of issues of renegotiating and rejuggling our schedules every summer to try and keep our kids going, trying to keep ourselves going. It's hard. So basic first thing, when our structure, when our life changes, as it does every summer when you're a parent, is to take a meeting with ourselves. This is just go-to. I talked about this in many different ways for a variety of reasons. It's a great time of year, whether you're watching this video and it's the end of June, or it's the end of July and you feel like you're going to pull your hair out, or it's like a week before school starting and you're just like, I need some support. Slow down, sit down, think, talk yourself through it, take a meeting with yourself. How do I negotiate the change of schedule and structure for this duration of time? And this is a great tip for summer. This is a great tip for when there's reading weeks or Christmas vacations. As a parent, sit down by ourselves, sit down with our partner if we're lucky enough to have one, or our support individuals like grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends, those people that are going to help us take care of the minors that we're in charge of. And have a meeting with yourself, have a meeting with these other people. Figure out what you're going to do. Strategize. The other thing is especially with summer, is try to make some commitments for your child. This is where summer camps, whether they're day camps in a city or they're church VBS, like churches usually have some sort of free camp that they're going to do, and there's a variety of churches that do that. There can also be some community resources set up at parks where there's a young adult that is going to be offering some sort of games or insight, just sort of watching the park play. Committing to an away camp can be a great thing depending on the age of your child. Committing to go visit relatives or friends. Again, we want to make sure we have safety plan. We want children to be safe. We want to make sure if we're encouraging them to go a sleepaway camp or to spend the night at somebody's house, that we're just making sure that we're feeling good about that decision and that our child or adolescent, we believe, will be safe, because there's always risk when our child is not sleeping in their own home. Again, make some commitments. What are some of the things that you are going to invest in for your child to experience? Space camp, tennis camp, an art class, photo class, going to one of the many camps around the city. Maybe there's some sort of commitment of something that another parent is suggesting and saying, hey, why don't I get our kids involved in this summer? Some sort of skills class or an event, concerts, K-days, these different commitments. These are commitments on our calendar that I can see as a parent, and as well that my child knows that these commitments are coming up. So these sort of milestones, these things to look forward to, these things to create some difference and excitement, break up the monotony. One of the greatest complaints, especially with adolescents, but school-age children as well, is just the boredom in summer. There's a lot of hours in the day that need to be filled. And so helping to have some commitments helps us, helps the kids, takes some pressure off, organizes the summer. If you are privileged enough to have some vacation time, it's good to figure out those commitments, and as well allowing our kids to have some anticipatory excitement that they're looking forward to it. They can talk about it, oh, when we're going to BC, or oh, when we're going to grandma's, camp is next week, whatever the case may be, helping them to have things to look forward to during the summer is helpful for them to manage their emotions. That's helpful for us. It's our survival. Rules with electronics. Ooh, it's so hard, right? Like the electronic problem is hard in general, and then in summer it's really hard. What do we do? If you're working and your kids are at home all day with electronics, if you have 2 or 3 children and then electronics become an issue, there's one television, there's one laptop, all these things. So that's where, again, when you meet with yourself, meet with your partner, to really evaluate what are the rules with electronics. If you have a system in place that's working for rules with electronics, try to keep it going. If your kids get an hour each evening with electronics, maybe say you get 2 hours throughout the day. It sounds really hard, but again, you know your child, and it's good if they're not sitting on electronics and they're getting outside and all these things that we hope our kids are doing. But hello, I was a child and I was an adolescent, and I remember spending full days watching television when I was a teen. It's hard. Again, the older the age of our child, the more we can talk to them about their use of electronics during the summer. We can collaborate with them more on goals for how they're going to use their electronics, how much time. You can set limits with your router, you can have timers on it, you can talk to geek squads and Apple Store people and really get a good idea of some of the different things you can do. I'm a big fan, keep charge cords in your bedroom. Trying to limit access through the night hours is really helpful, because I don't need to be texting my friend at 2 a.m. It's not good for my sleep, it's not good for me. So again, just having some of those rules and really trying to take some efforts to make sure that our kids are not just sinking into electronics, apps, all those things. There's a whole other world out there electronically, and the more time a child or youth spends on it, the more potential for risk for that child. Get strategic, figure out your rules, and then at times break them. So if you're gonna have some really good rules and collaborative plan with your youth or child, then also go easy on yourself and them at times. Sometimes rules are meant to be broken. So some days, we just have a couch potato day, and that's okay. That's okay. Summertime, some days the kids are just going to be couch potatoing it. I don't know if you say that anymore, because they're on like computers and apps and stuff, but still couch potatoing, I guess. That's what I would say. Okay, again, we are surviving. We need to survive the summer. The old adage, happy wife, happy life. If mom's doing good, kids are doing good. Dad's doing good, kids are doing good. Happy dad, happy life. But we need to be taking care of ourselves. So as a parent, not only are we taking these moments to have a meeting, check in with ourselves, consider how we're doing structurally, what shifts and changes we need to make throughout the summer, but then to have a daily anchor check-in. When your kids are off school, this is paramount. And it can feel impossible. I'm not saying you need to take an hour. I'm not saying you need to really take all the time to check in. Check-ins with yourself can be small. It could be just like when you get home from work and you're changing your clothes, you have the bedroom door shut, and you just sit on your bed for a few minutes and check in. How am I doing? How did the day go? What is my emphasis going into this evening with my kids? There's some funny TikToks or something of moms locking themselves in the pantry. If you're locking yourself in the pantry, it's not just to eat Twizzlers. That we're taking a moment, okay, I might be in the pantry, but I'm checking in. I'm trying to gauge inside. To me, a self-check-in, there's an element of ritual, so there's a predictability. This is the thing I do. I take a moment with myself, and this is how I take a moment with myself, and it feels so full and spiritual, and it's helpful. What it is doing for me to check in, to have this ritual daily, is that it's helping me to gauge, how's my central nervous system doing, how's my attachment system doing, where's my anxiety, where's my aggression, how am I making peace with myself, how am I setting my intention going into this day or into this evening, and if I got rattled up, giving myself a timeout. So timeouts are for parents. If you're doing a bad job, parental guilt is taking over, if you're losing it with kids, give yourself a timeout. Timeouts can be we send them to their room, but really it's for us to breathe. When I'm giving my child a timeout, I'm giving myself the timeout, so I can move myself into my bedroom. I'm just needing to self-regulate so that I can go back into the relationship with this child or adolescent friend, partner, whomever actually in my life. I self-regulate, I can go back in to work on co-regulating with another person. Love. It's a love strategy. So daily check in with yourself, ritual, get some good music going in your car, having some good teas when you wake up, sitting on the deck with your cup of coffee if you can, have some good self-care strategies, chocolate in your mom drawer, bath bombs in your mom drawer, bath bombs in your dad drawer, chocolate in your dad drawer, Twizzlers. You can have the Twizzlers, but self-regulate as well so that you can co-regulate. And then I sort of alluded to this with talking about the ritual time with ourselves, but making peace. So I use this example a lot with parents because we get it. Bedtime with young kids, it can be so hard. And what I realized about myself was that I would go into bedtime and I'd just cringe, like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. The more I didn't want to do it, the more I was afraid that it was going to take so long, the more I was focused on, I just want my own time, I want to relax, I want my own time. The worse the bedtimes would be, the longer the bedtimes would be, the more the kids would be getting back out of bed. So I realized that I just need to make peace with putting my kids to bed. I need to say, you know what, Tara, it's going to take about 10 minutes. Give yourself 10 minutes. And to me, 10 minutes is symbolic. I have no idea how long it's going to take. Sometimes it's 30 minutes. Sometimes it's 2 to 5 minutes. I have small children right now, right? So I'm still in it. But it's like, if I go in viewing this event with my child as an inconvenience or a rule or a have to, it makes it much more harder for me to self-regulate. And if I'm not self-regulated, they're not going to be able to co-regulate off of me. And especially at bedtime, then how are they going to go to sleep peacefully and in a timely sequence? How are they going to feel safe about sleep in general if mom is a basket case every night when I'm trying to get them down? So making peace with what we're dealing with. My kids are fighting. If I can make peace with, okay, I'm going to step in, I'm going to manage this. My kids are bored. Okay, I'm going to make peace, I'm going to step in, I'm going to give them a menu of ideas of things that they could be doing. Bedtime, make peace with it. Time to take them to the park, make peace with it. Driving them to their friends, picking them up from their friends, talking them through difficult decisions, heartbreaks, breakups, friend problems. The more we can make peace with, this is where I'm at with this individual. 9 p.m. and a teenager parks themselves on your bed. It's like, okay, be present in this moment, make peace with this moment. The more I do that, the more I ease my own central nervous system, my attachment system, the more available I'm there. Love strategies. These are all just love strategies. Parent Survival Guide for the Summer. Love strategies. Ask for help. Ask for help. Find your tribe and ask for help. And if you're so blessed to have additional caregiver support in your life, aunts, uncles, grandparents, friends, whatever, who will say, hey, why don't I take your daughter and we're going to bake cookies? Or, hey, want me to walk the kids to the park? Or Let me know if your son needs a ride to his friend's house on Friday night. Those sorts of things. Ask for help. Accept help. And if we don't have people who are able or willing to help us with the child rearing, the caregiving, then asking help just for us. Vent to a friend. Talk it through. Make time for you to go out for a girls' night, to go out, hang out with the boys, dates. That's other methods of asking for help. I'm feeling overwhelmed. It's been a heck of a summer. Could we get together for coffee? My kids are kind of driving me crazy. Is it okay if I come over and you feed me lunch? There's different things. Like, we can ask our friends. Safe friends will either say yes or no. A good friend can say no if they're not up to it. And we can trust them. And if people aren't able to help and they do it anyhow, we can let them own that problem that they didn't find their no. But ask for help. We need help. I need help. I don't want to do it all on my own this summer. I want to ask people to help me out because I want to enjoy my summer, because the more I enjoy my summer, the more my kids are going to enjoy their summer. It's also really exciting, especially, it's just normal part of attachment, that as they go out, they venture out more and more, and they get used to coming back and telling us these little stories. My kids went to the water park yesterday, and my daughter was explaining to me the experience of going to the water park. She's excited. Mommy, I had an adventure. Guess what this adventure is? You've never heard the story. And in her little experience of telling Mom this magical story, and I'm available. I've calmed down and I've said, this is the moment I'm committing to. Then that helps her to feel like maybe next time I'm excited, I can tell Mommy more. Listening ears, being available, just letting them have those little adventures, asking for help, being apart from our kids, and then hopefully they're telling us about their day. And then again, making peace when they're not gonna, because as they age, they're like, not gonna tell us everything, right? Oh, and okay, first off, I'm just gonna review, and then I have a bonus one. So take meetings with ourselves and with our co-parenting partners, right? So let's strategize, let's see the landscape of the summer, and let's renegotiate our calendar and our structure. Make commitments, put some things on the calendar that you know are there and that the kids know are there as well. They have things to look forward to, and you have some ideas of pacing yourself so that you know, okay, next Tuesday this is happening. Summer vacation, our vacation's happening in 2 weeks. It's helpful, cools down our hot brain. Rules with electronics, have some, take some action, collaborate with your kids as much as possible, get their buy-in, and break those rules sometimes. Daily self-check-in and ritual for you. Have something for us. Every day I'm going to have my moment. I'm going to have my little thing, whatever it is. A little workout, a little coffee, a little tea, a little breathing space, locking my bedroom door, and sitting on my bed for a few minutes to just get in, meditate, breathe, read something inspirational, pray. Jesus, take the wheel. Carrie Underwood. Just want to reference. That's a Carrie Underwood song. Make peace. There's things that our kids need from us. The more we can make peace with them, the more manageable those things are going to seem, the more accessible we are. We want to be accessible, responsive, and emotionally engaged. It's great attachment. That is an emotionally focused strategy. Being accessible, responsive, and emotionally engaged. Ask for help. Don't do it all on your own. You don't have to. Ask for help. You are valuable. You matter to those kids. You matter to so many people. You can ask for help. Bonus. There's somebody watching this tape and you need to hear it. Tape, video, whatever we're going to call it. Go buy your school supplies. Don't wait until the end of August. Schedule it in. Go back to that meeting with yourself and schedule in sooner rather than later to start getting your school supplies so that you know what you've got, and if you have a few things that you haven't quite found, order them online or schedule a second day to go back and get those things. Okay, you guys, Parent Summer Survival Guide. I feel like I've got this as best as I can, and I'm not going to get 100%. So I hope that brings some peace of mind to you. You have got this as best as you can, and you don't have to get 100%. Let's have a great summer. Have a great summer for you, for who you are. Enjoy the sun, enjoy not being in lockdown, and be a great parent because you are. You got good intention towards your kids, and it's important to remind ourselves of that. Happy summer!